What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a major star signs with WWE. There's a big problem with Survivor Series. Nikki Bella is unhappy with fans. MVP buries Triple H. A WWE star receives backlash. A new champion crowned on TNA, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at a major star signing with WWE. Now, our top story today takes a look at a report related to WWE's latest signing. Now, it's been rumored for months that once Joe Hendry wraps up in TNA, he will officially be WWE-bound, and this now looks to be the case. According to Fightful Select via Patreon, Hendry's days in TNA are over, and he's officially a WWE talent. Joe Hendry's days in TNA are pretty well over. Sources in TNA confirmed to Fightful Select this week that former TNA Joe Hendry is effectively done with the company in official capacity. Hendry hasn't been seen in weeks, but has been featured on NXT TV for quite some time. There's good reason for that. He's officially a WWE superstar. Hendry is not listed internally to appear on this weekend's TNA shows, though people we spoke to said it wouldn't be a surprise to see him drop by backstage as he's living in the area. Hendry was not booked for TNA Bound for Glory and was not backstage, which surprised a number of people we spoke to. Now, it's been noted that Hendry will be full-time with WWE moving forward, and one WWE name who has been a massive advocate for him is the legendary Shawn Michaels. WWE sources confirm that Hendry is effectively full-time with WWE at this point, and officially with the company, someone they say they wanted to bring in for quite some time. Shawn Michaels has been vocal about how much he liked Joe Hendry and he wanted WWE to try to buy out his TNA deal. There are actually a number of months that remained on his TNA contract, but he's now with WWE moving forward. Throughout the process of navigating both companies, Hendry used representation to amicably move forward in his future with WWE. Hendry has been used a ton in NXT throughout 2025, and who can forget he was chosen as Randy Orton's mystery opponent at WrestleMania 41 earlier this year. Now, there's definitely rampant speculation that Hendry is going to be involved in the John Cena tournament, and with him now being signed to WWE, this now seems extremely likely. WWE has a number of open spots in the tournament, and they even have a number of mystery spots which Hendry could easily fill up. He definitely is a significant signing for WWE, as he's been one of the most popular wrestlers outside of WWE for some time, and his persona is destined for the WWE main roster sooner rather than later. Next up, there's a big problem with Survivor Series. Roman Reigns is currently being advertised for Survivor Series War Games this month, and logic would assume that he would team with CM Punk, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes against the Vision inside War Games. Additionally, John Cena is also set for the show, and he could easily fit in the War Games match due to having established history with all of the fellow babyfaces. However, according to a new report from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, neither Reigns or Cena being in War Games is currently on the cards. Survivor Series on 29 November at Petco Park in San Diego is largely up in the air. A thought from TV that they might put together this dream team of babyfaces with CM Punk and Roman Reigns and John Cena and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, but that's not in the cards. Meltzer would add that names such as LA Knight and Jimmy Uso could be joining the babyface side of things. The only thing hinted about the two War Games matches, and with Punk and Rhodes both officially in War Games, that means no men's top titles are on the show. The men's War Games has the Punk and Rhodes and Jey Uso and two others versus Logan Paul, Bron Breakker, and Bronson Reed. Paul replaces Seth Rollins, who was originally planned. The original of the two were Brock Lesnar and Austin Theory. On the face side, it would appear Rhodes is replacing Jacob Fatu. That would make the favorites for the final spot to be LA Knight or Jimmy Uso. Now, this report confuses things, as there's no way Reigns and Cena are left off the card, so it'll be really interesting to find out what WWE has in store. Next up, Nikki Bella is unhappy with fans. And Nikki Bella turned heel this week on Raw by turning on her supposed friend Stephanie Baker. As Nikki was leaving the ring, some fans decided to chant "John Cena left you" at Nikki, and naturally this upset the former Divas champion. Speaking on a podcast this week, Nikki stated that the hate is gross, but she's glad people are defending her. The hate's so gross, like even some of the chants I got last night. Honestly, I think they got picked up more on television, or maybe I was just too in my moment to even notice. But it's nice to see people with credibility speak up, because I think at the end of the day, they all know how much I love this business and how much passion I have for wrestling. They know the work I put in. And Nikki would continue to say that she's been working extremely hard to improve in the ring, and most of the criticism directed at her makes no sense. Nikki is now set for a high-profile feud with Vaquer over the world title, and there are rumors that the match could be added to the Survivor Series War Games card in 2 weeks' time. Next up, MVP buries Triple H. Now it's another day, another instance of former WWE star MVP burying Triple H. The current AEW talent recently spoke to Adventure Gamers, and MVP stated that he agrees with Bret Hart that the head of WWE Creative is a phony. Man, I agree with Bret's assertion. I've said before, I've called him a coward and a liar. Let's put it like this. If you really want to, you can go to YouTube and you can look up the interviews of various wrestlers through the years or what their opinion is of the man. Interviews of guys that were his friends, what they had to say about the guy. I can think of more guys that dislike him than I can think of guys that do like him. MVP would add that he has personal issues with Triple H and he outright doesn't respect him. MVP would also state that the new generation don't know the real Triple H. The newer generation, they don't know that guy yet. So the one of those guys that come up underneath him in NXT, they think he's brilliant and a lot of them shoot for the hand he's had in their career. But the guys that had to work with him back in the day will tell you a different story almost overwhelmingly. And it's not just me saying it, there's guys who are way up the totem pole than me that are telling you that this guy's no bueno. And whilst MVP is certainly entitled to his opinion, it's worth noting that numerous names from Triple H's past have made amends with him. Names such as Scott Steiner and Goldberg all reconciled with Triple H, and who can forget the biggest, that being CM Punk. The issues between Punk and the game were well documented, and the two don't just have a positive working relationship, it seems that there is a legitimate friendship there, and Punk is basically the game's #1 guy right now. Next up, another name WWE-bound? Could WWE be about to hire yet another name? Well, one name that has been rumored to be WWE-bound for some time is Danhausen, and according to Fightful Select's latest Q&A offering, it's noted that he would be the perfect fit for WWE, and the company should take a chance on him. Yes, and I think they should for reasons you mentioned. R-Truth is back, but they won't have that Santino character forever. I think Danhausen is a great one that can go across different brands for them and do that type of thing. I could imagine he and Mr. Iguana teaming and finding a great niche. Also, WWE's marketing machine behind him would probably take him to a different level. Danhausen is close personal friends with CM Punk, so there's at least one significant name that will have his back if he decides to sign with WWE. Danhausen's gimmick is totally wild, but it could work well on the main roster, especially with the younger demographic. He has a notable brand and image, and WWE could easily plaster it all over an array of merchandise. Next up, a WWE star receives backlash. NXT star Shawn Spears isn't Mr. Popular on social media today. Spears took to X to simply state the man watching from the stand should never speak ill of the man fighting in the arena. Spears' argument is basically that fans have no right to criticize the wrestlers or the product they are consuming. Spears is now being ripped apart for this from fans. A lot of fans have pointed out that the argument makes zero sense, as it's the equivalent of saying that consumers shouldn't complain if they didn't like a movie or their food wasn't to their liking. Spears' argument is one that makes little sense, as criticism is part of any medium, especially pro wrestling. Next up, Cody Rhodes to steal John Cena trade. During WWE Champion Cody Rhodes' latest video podcast episode with Natalya, he discussed John Cena, and Rhodes revealed one of the elements of Cena's work he wants to steal now that he's retiring. According to Rhodes, he wants to add feats of strength into his pro wrestling arsenal. I always look at Cena's career and I try to steal as much as I can. One of the things that he did really well that I'm trying to improve on myself is feats of strength. He'd have this unbelievable because he truly was. Cena was well established for being one of the strongest pro wrestlers of all time, and he was often seen delivering an AA to the Big Show or even AAing multiple wrestlers at the same time. Rhodes has shown amazing feats of strength in the past, including carrying Braun Strowman on his shoulders, but most of these have been exclusive to live events. Rhodes hasn't feuded with any super heavyweights since he became a top guy in WWE, so when he starts working with names such as Bronson Reed and potentially Omos, this is when Rhodes can begin to introduce this new element into his pro wrestling offense. And finally, a new TNA World Champion crowned. Our final story today takes a look at TNA, as last night the company crowned a new World Champion. After reigning World Champion Mike Santana was beaten down by a crew of NXT talent, Frankie Kazarian came out to cash in and call your shot. Santana managed to fight back, but his arm gave out on him, and Kazarian rolled up Santana to secure the win. Now, this title change has received significant backlash with fans. Santana was supposed to be positioned as the face of the TNA brand, and doing a title change just a few weeks into his reign feels really short-sighted. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but it's certainly a controversial booking call from TNA. But there you have it, folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.